Do you like miniatures? Do you like tabletop wargaming? Do you like sci-fi? What about heroes piloting big armored suits with even bigger guns? Then stay tuned as we dive into the world of Zeo Genesis. At its core, Zeo Genesis is a skirmish game of big armored suits locked in battles of kinetic action. It's designed around an alternating activation system where each model in your force gets multiple actions per activation. It's been designed by gaming author and legend Andy Chambers, who's responsible for over 30 Games Workshop titles, and the narrative has been written by another Games Workshop alumni, Gav Thorpe. Faster games was one of the goals of Zeo Genesis, where they last typically around 35 to 45 minutes. Players can choose to scale up to larger games if they choose, but according to the designers, our most precious resource is time, and I couldn't agree more. So what is Zeo Genesis? Well, at its core, Zeo Genesis is a skirmish game of big armored suits locked in battles of kinetic action. Zeo Genesis has its roots deep in the feeling of late 80s and early 90s anime and manga, just as they were making their way over to the West. Its aesthetic has the sort of look you'd find from a masterworks of that era, like Ghost in the Shell, Metal Skin Panic, Appleseed, Patlabor, and Akira. And it's the feeling that grabbed me when I first got eyes on the project myself. When I think of those titles, they have a very specific feeling to them. Some hand-drawn with real human energy being transferred from the artist to the paper to the screen. It has a very special feeling that is very difficult to replicate in the current age. The miniatures and art the team have created are heavily inspired by these older anime and manga pieces, and they've done a great job of creating a unique set of miniatures and a world that really shows off that design and vibe direction. So what about a bit of background? The setting of Zeo Genesis places us firmly across the 100 worlds of mankind in an unknown future time period. Having fled and subsequently lost contact or whereabouts of Earth, humanity has been locked into these 100 solar systems for around 1,000 years. Now they face a new unknown threat. A whole star system has disappeared, leading to numerous factions vying for control of humanity's future. Zeos are the name of the big armored suits in the miniature range, which our heroes pilot around the battlefield. The ones that you see here are the Stormer Zeos from the Guard Corps faction. And this is the Amarok Master Form Zeo, representing Pact. The Zeos come in many flavors and sizes with a deep variety of customization options. The miniatures in the game represent two opposing factions, Pact and the Guard Corps. Each has a collection of Zeo units which you control and fight on the battlefield. Each Zeo unit represents one or more Zeos and their attendant support units. Support units are brave, albeit unfortunately non-Zeo miniatures who coordinate in actions with Zeo pilots. As for the factions themselves, let's start with Pact. Pact represents a group of humans striving to grow and expand, maybe even finding a way out of the human settlements of the 100 worlds. And then we have the Guard Corps. Think of these as the quasi-military wing or the security forces of the homogeny movement. They are more focused on human potential and are striving for central rule. So what's in the box? We've been lucky enough to be sent a set of pre-production miniatures from both factions. And what's very cool with these is that the final miniatures will be made from injection molded plastic and will be produced in the USA. The producer Best Hobby are making their own molds and doing their own injection. So these miniatures will probably look stunning and breaks the mold a bit in a sea of 3D printed miniatures. We've also got some clever cardboard terrain to help bring the world to life and provide height for cover and scalability. It's nice thick cardboard which comes flat and inserts into its twin to create these cool structures for the tabletop. Going back to the miniatures for a second, I love the look of these, from the design aesthetic to the posing and feeling of each model. Nothing says mech warfare to me more than a massive suit clutching an even more massive semi-automatic rifle. So what about the game? Well, as we've seen, Zeo Genesis features big armor suits locked in kinetic action going head to head through various scenarios. It's not set in a grim or dark future. Instead, we follow stories about exploration and mystery set against a backdrop of humanity starting to face a coming war. When the game launches, most skirmishes are effectively security conflicts or covert ops, played on a 3x3 table and take roughly 30 to 45 minutes to play. And right now you can access all of the playtest files on the Zeo Genesis website to get a deeper understanding of how the game works. The Zeo Genesis universe is set to be expanded through the blog on their website, which they're aiming to post every other week, covering the Zeos and their weapons, as well as episodes covering the environments of the 100 Worlds. There's also a webcomic, Crisis at Saber Ridge, written by Alec Worley with art by Pi Pa, and they'll be releasing a new page about every week for the rest of the year. The creators say there are many stories to come, and this is just the beginning. Zeo Genesis is due to launch on GameFound on April 29th, so make sure you click the link in the description and discover the universe of Zeo Genesis.